Hi there. My name's Beth, and hopefully, this message is for Philip De Franco. Hello, if you're watching. I watched your video from Monday, which probably came out yesterday in England, which is where I am. Explaining the misogyny thing with that killer who killed a load of people, which was a very terrible thing to hear. However, I'm making this video because you said something which not only shocked me, but it worried me as well. When you mentioned that this person had Asperger's syndrome, you simply said, no, fuck him, he's a bad person. Excuse my language. And it worried me because it gave me the implication that you know nothing about autism. I have Asperger's syndrome. I was diagnosed when I was 18. I'm now 24. And just like most people who have autism of one form or another, I was bullied. I was called many names. I was misunderstood. I was put through a lot of bad shit. I won't go into details. But the one thing that really bugged me was that my family thought that I was just a naughty child. I was a child who expressed things in a different way to my sibling. I have an older sister. She was the normal one. I was not the normal one. I did different things. I enjoyed different things. Hell, I didn't even speak until I was 5. And I had to have lots of therapy, lots of coaching. I had to have support teachers sitting with me in school, which was thankfully available to me because my father had quite a bit of money when I was younger. So I was very fortunate to have that, and I'm very grateful for that today. But the misunderstanding of what and how I felt inside was constantly prevalent. It was always there. No one actually knew what I truly meant to say when I said things. They would come out wrong. They would sound like insults, or they'd sound like gobbledygook, and I don't know, so much else. And really, it wasn't until I actually got diagnosed that things have slowly snapped into place with my family. It's taken 6 years. Let me see. Yes, 6 years. I'm not very good at maths. Yeah, it's taken 6 years, and I'm now at a point where most of the time my mother understands my tendencies, and my family is more understanding of who I am. I know this is sounding very self-centered at the moment, but I do have a point to this, so please bear with me. See, it's hard to get things out in words. You know, I have so much going on up here that I've wanted to say. My head is just saying with words, with things I can say, with ways to elaborate what I'm trying to say, and yet the words can't come out. And that's just one of quite a few difficulties people with autism have. We are socially inept. I never really had any friends at school, and the friends I did have were false. And yes, you could say that about any other kid who was normal or whatever else, but that doesn't really change the circumstances. And I kept putting myself out there. I was always taught, make an effort, put yourself out there, keep trying. And I was brought up very rigidly like a normal person, which didn't work in the slightest. I mean, I can speak perfectly well. I like to think I'm well mannered, and I like to think I have a good sense of what's right and wrong. But the best way to understand what I'm trying to get at is that, let's say you run on Apple, okay? I run on Linux. I don't even know what Linux does, but I run on Linux. Most people with autism don't run on Apple or Windows. We run on a different operating system. Sometimes a mishmash of things in such an odd and discollaborative way that we just simply don't know what to do with ourselves. But at the same time, there are people who can do amazing things who have autism. I mean, let me give you an example. I have self-taught myself crochet. I'm trying to start up a shop selling things such as this, which I've made myself, and this, which I made in the space of less than a day. This type of crochet is called amigurumi, and I've never done amigurumi before. But yeah, I made myself a unicorn in the space of less than 24 hours. I know. There are people who have done far more creative and helpful things than I have. Einstein is the most obvious example. I mean, you all know what Einstein has done. But he would never go out of his room. He couldn't bear to see other people. He had to stay in his space, from what I'm aware. And when it was just so worrying when you said specifically, "Oh, well, so many people were sympathetic," but no, fuck it. And Phil, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. I think you are so well grounded, and you tell it like it is, and you're not biased at all. And even when you have your biased moments, it's in favour of doing the right thing, no matter how hard it is, or no matter how difficult it may be to accomplish. Or, you're one of the few people who can tell it like it is, and do it in a way that does not sound like bullcrap. And that's a wonderful thing. And I so wish that you didn't automatically condemn those with Asperger's. I mean, I have never once hurt a fly. Never once. And nor would I ever dream of hurting anyone. But the thought of being mean to someone verbally even just makes me feel disgusting inside. And I'm sure that that's how a lot of other people with Asperger's and autism feel too. And another thing, I don't know how much, if any, research you've done on autism, but it's called the autistic spectrum for a reason. Someone with Asperger's doesn't have this to this degree, this to this degree. It's not junk, 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 junk. It's flowy bits, like a little bit of this and a little bit of that and maybe a teeny bit of this. And it's like everyone has the same amount of jam, jelly, and everyone has the same amount of bread. It's just spread in different ways. So, honestly, there is so much more that I could say. I'm trying to keep it as brief as possible. But there is so much more I could say about how, you know, people with Asperger's, we're not all bad. We're misunderstood. You know, frankly, America in general seems to have the most terrible antisocial attitude towards anyone who is different from the norm. I mean, hell, they're doing shock therapy in the States on people with autism. Shock therapy. And this isn't on adults, this is on little children. And these little children are being denied going to school, denied going places where other kids can go, and it is just downright hatred for anyone who's different. And I mean, I really recommend you look up on some forums of like parents talking about their experiences with their autistic children, because you would not believe the sheer effort that these parents go through. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for my mother, because the amount of stuff she had to go through with me, and she's still going strong, and super mum of the year, really is in my mind. You know, boys with Asperger's are very extrovert. Everything, they can't express themselves, they do something extrovert. Like maybe they show more naughty tendencies, or they flip out, or whatever, unless it's, you know, dealt with therapy and stuff like that. Girls go completely introverted. We blame ourselves for every little thing under the sun. We, you know, you think girls of a teenage age have peer pressure. Girls with Asperger's have peer pressure times 1,000. No joke. Everything is like, oh God, he hates me. He looked at me funny. Oh God, he must want to hurt me. Oh God, I'm guilty. No, I'm too scared. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside. Small example. Some people can't walk through a busy supermarket without breaking down. That's true. I really don't go outside much anymore, because where I live it just does not feel safe. I enjoy my safe space. I do what I can to look after my safe space, and I cherish it. That's how I deal. But does that mean I secretly go out at night and hurt people, stab people? No. No, it doesn't. And frankly, I could say easily that I am outraged that people do this kind of thing. But at the same time, I understand that ignorance is a very big thing. Yeah, ignorance. And it is purely ignorance and a lack of wanting to understand different people, different cultures, different backgrounds, different countries, all that business. And it has caused so many wars. Memorial Day for the Americans over there, you know, yeah, a lot of troops did something for a very good reason, and that is definitely something to be respected. But how do you think those wars started? Just something to think about. Religious wars? Wars of people with different ideas? Couldn't just let lie, could you? No, you have to fight. Because fighting is all you do. So, when you think about it that way, you have to ask yourself, is a person with Asperger's really so bad when we're not the ones going out and trying to start wars for the sake of a country, for the sake of a people? For the most part, we just want to live and let live. We're just different people. That doesn't make us bad. It doesn't make us murderers. It doesn't make us drug abusers, rapists, whatever else. It's just different. No matter what colour, age, gender, race, we're all people. We're all different. It's as simple as that. And people just don't seem to understand that. Anyway, I think I've said all I can say. I would really hope that this message gets seen and that people take the time to try, at the very least, to understand the problems that people with autism face today. Not just in America, not just in England, but anywhere where difference is looked down on. My name is Beth. I have Asperger's syndrome, and I am proud of who I am because I know I'm a good person. Are you a good person?